welcome to Pilates with Lisa B. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're going to do some exercises for anterior pelvic tilt, also known as APT. So extremely common, I see this a lot. So let me just quickly say it's not one size fits all. We are all unique in our bodies. So but I'm going to go through some of the exercises which, generally speaking, I would say are really good for anterior pelvic tilt. And if you're thinking, what is anterior pelvic tilt? Do I have it? So I don't really have anterior pelvic tilt, but just to demonstrate, so with anterior pelvic tilt, tends to be the pelvis. What happens is the pelvis is tilted down and forward, the bottom is sticking out, you've got quite a curvature here in the lumbar region, the belly is sometimes sticking out. So that's kind of, it's quite hard to do because I don't really have it, but that would be my normal kind of how I am usually. And then pelvic tilt, again, it's quite a little bit hard to do, but bottom is a little bit out, belly forward. A good little marker is your hip bone, the bit that really is sticking out. If you find that with your fingers, ASIS, and the back part of the hip, the pelvis, which is the PSIS. So tends to be, there's a much bigger gap between. So if I tilt forward, there's a much, not gap, sorry, there's a much more horizontal line rather than going almost straight across, rather than that kind of ASIS to PSIS. The PSIS is higher than the ASIS when you've got anterior pelvic tilt. So that's generally, but you will see it a lot if you start to look at people's postures. You will see anterior pelvic tilt quite a lot. So tends to be what happens is today we're going to strengthen the hamstrings and the glutes and the core, and then we're going to stretch the back and the hip flexors. But as I say, it's not one size fits all. These are just generally exercises that I would recommend. Let me just quickly say, I have got a cough. Oh my goodness, it's just a cough. Every time I cough in a public space at the moment, people are nearly giving themselves whiplash when they look at me. I cough and someone goes, it is literally like that. People have got a whiplash from looking at me. I need a t-shirt to say I've just got a cough. I've had it for a really long time. No other symptoms. It's just a cough. Even my voice is a bit funny. Yes, just a cough. So let's get on with it. So we're going to strengthen the old hamstrings and glutes first. So we're going to warm up. So just about 10 minutes is what we're going to do. So let's come to lying down on the mat. Feet hip distance apart. So relax your shoulders down. Just do a couple of deep breaths here. So get used to the breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose. Notice the belly expands, the chest rises. Exhale through the mouth. So now I want you to pull your tummy muscles in, so the lower back goes into the mat a little bit more. You're pulling your belly button in towards your spine, holding the abs in. So now we're going to tilt the pelvis back and we're going to lift the bottom. So you'll really squeeze your bottom, squeeze your glutes as you lift, and get into the hamstrings. So imagine that your heels are being drawn towards your pelvis. And then we're going to lower back down. So we're going to lift, we're going for 8 of these. And lower. Really squeeze the bottom. So these are nice little shoulder bridges, glute bridges, whatever you want to call these. There's 3. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Sometimes the shoulders want to tense up on these. Really squeeze the bottom all the way up, all the way down. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2. Keeping the face nice and relaxed. Remembering to breathe. 3, 4. Now stay lifted. So now you're going to take your left foot forward a couple of inches to come onto the heel. Then your right foot forward. So now you're just on your heels, your toes are off the mat. So we're just going to pulse the bottom up and down. 20 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 9. Really squeeze in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot back. Try not to let the hips move. Other foot back. Now we're going to come onto the tiptoes. So again, strengthening those glutes. 20 little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm really feeling my butt here, so really squeeze the bottom. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whole of the foot down, other foot down, lower the pelvis and bring the knees in towards the chest. Have a little rock from side to side if that feels good. And then we're going to roll up into a seated position. So we're just going to start to strengthen the core a little bit. So feet on the mat, hip distance, long spine. So you shouldn't be feeling these in your back. You should be feeling your core is working, your tummy muscles, the abdominals are working. So let's bring the arms up. They can be under the hamstrings if that's a little bit much with the arms up. So turn the palms to face the floor. So we're going to take an inhale, long spine. Exhale back, hands hover over the knees. Pull the belly in, use your core here. Come back up. Inhale. Exhale back. And coming up again. If this feels too strong, hands can be on your hamstrings. Curving the spine as you're coming back. Let's go for 5 more. Keep those shoulders relaxed. I hope you're all good and well today in this crazy world that we're living in at the moment. Let's go for 2 more. Last one, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Good, and come back up. Good, and now we're going to just go into some glutes onto our side. Let's do a little seated cat-cow to stretch out the back first. So from the side you'll be able to see my spine. So push your hands out to the side, bend at the wrist, push through the heels of the hands. So we're going to take an inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, round the back, gaze down. So really stretching out the back, really curve the spine here. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward, round the back, gaze down. Inhale, open the chest, bring the arms back. Exhale, bring them forward. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. And then we're going to go onto the side. So again, getting into those glutes. So bend the knees. Now bring your quads, your thighs, so there you can see your quads. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked. You're not letting your body roll back. So you can be on your forearm, you can lie all the way down, you can rest your head, whichever is more comfortable. I'm going to stay on my forearm. So tummy muscles are in, keep the ankles together. We're going to go into the clam. So you're going to open and close. So feeling the glutes here. Don't let your body rock back. So this hand can be here just to help stabilise. Let's go for 10 more. So we're going to do about 15 on each side. 3, and keep the tummy muscles in, just supports the lower back. Don't sink into this shoulder, so don't kind of slouch, so push through the elbow if you're on your elbow. As I said, you can be lying all the way down. I've lost count, I always lose count. Let's go for 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now lift the ankle and the knee in a nice straight line. So lift and lower. Keep the ankle and the knee parallel with each other. Try not to be doing that or be doing that. So lift and lower. Again, without your body rocking back, keep everything still apart from this leg moving. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, I forgot about my posture. Keep pushing through the elbow. Lifting those lower ribs away from the mat. 5, 4. I'm really feeling this in the bottom now, a little bit in the hip. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to lie down, straighten the legs. Now we're going to stretch out that quad. So grab your ankle or the foot, just never the toes. Knees in line with each other, don't let the knee lift. And you're just stretching out the quad, so front of that thigh. You can pull that knee back a little bit behind that other knee just to intensify this quad stretch. I actually don't stretch my quads very much. I need to do this more. So just holding. So we've warmed up a little bit, and it's okay to do a static stretch when you've warmed up a little bit. You don't want to do this first thing in the morning or when you're quite cold and you haven't used your muscles much. Good, and then just come out of that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So get your knees and your hips stacked, ankles and knees in a nice straight line. Elbow under the shoulder if you're choosing to be on your forearm. Let's go for the clam for 15. 1, 2, pulling the belly in. Just noticing whether you feel like your hip is rocking back. You can even put that free hand onto the butt. Why not? Why not? Let's we can put our hand on our own butt. It's good. It's good. You can feel the glutes working. Just be aware of whether your hips are rocking back. No, don't let that happen. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now lifting the ankle and knee in a nice straight line. Let's go to 15. 1. Be aware of the posture, lifting the lower ribs away from the mat. 4, 5. So only this leg moving. Keep pulling the tummy muscles in, support that lower back. Breathe in. Let's go for 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now lie all the way down, legs nice and straight. Grab that ankle or that foot, stretch out that quad. You can bring it back a little bit to intensify that. You can do this standing as well, that's completely fine if that's more comfortable. And just breathe. Sometimes when we stretch and it's uncomfortable, we tense the muscle we're stretching. Because we don't like it, we're not used to sometimes stretching certain muscles. So try and relax. Tell your thigh to relax. Good, and then come out of that. And then we are going to go into 4-point kneeling. We're going to go into the hamstrings. So just strengthening the hamstrings a little bit. So wrists under the shoulders. You're going to take your right leg back, straighten it out. So now you're just going to bend the knee and straighten. So you're keeping the knee lifted. So you're just using your hamstring to bend that knee. That's the muscle that you're working. Try to keep your hips level. Tummy muscles are definitely in here to support the lower back. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Straighten those arms. Pull the tummy muscles in. 5, 4, keep looking down at the mat so that your head is in line with the spine. 3, 2, 1, and done. Let's go for the other side. Straighten that leg, get the hips level, pull the tummy muscles in, and let's go for 15. So really concentrate on not using momentum. So you're using the muscle rather than doing that sort of quick, just waving that leg around. You really have to get the mind-body connection here. Keep pulling the tummy muscles in. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, pulling the belly in, 2, 1, and done. And then we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So let's bring our left foot forward. So now push this left knee forward. So you're now feeling a stretch on the right hip flexor. So again, try and tell that hip flexor to relax. We're going to hold this for a few seconds. Quite often if you have a job that is seated a lot of the time, you get quite short hip flexors. It's really good to have a good stretch if you have like an office job or maybe a driving job where you're sitting a lot. Trying to really stretch out the hip flexors will help. Good, and come out of that. And to be honest, it really is getting into a regular practice of strengthening and stretching. So many people will strengthen, but they won't stretch because they think, I haven't got time to stretch. Or is it that important? Oh my goodness, it is so important to stretch. If you are more flexible, you are less prone to injury. And as Joseph Pilates said, I do always get this wrong by the way. Joseph Pilates did not say that, I said that. But Joseph Pilates believed that, we are only as young as the spine is flexible. And yeah, that man was right. That man was right. And then come out of that, we're going to stretch out the back a little bit. So come back into 4-point kneeling. So cat cows, so inhale, push the spine up, drop the head, tuck your pelvis, and now you're looking at your legs. Opposite way, belly down, chest through, head up. And again, round the back. And lower. One more time, round in the back. Good, lowering the belly, chest through, head up. Good, and then let's go into a little bit more core work, just to give you an idea of some good exercise to do at home for the tummy muscles. So we're going to go into dead bug. Legs can stay in tabletop if it's too much, so pull the tummy muscles in on your next exhale. So abs should feel nice and tense. Left leg into tabletop, right leg, they can stay still. You can just do the arms or you can do both. So I'm going to inhale to straighten my left leg and my right arm goes behind me. Pause, don't use momentum, exhale in. Right leg, left arm, inhale, lengthen, exhale in. Good, keep going. I'm going to modify, I'm just going to do my arms. I'm pulling my tummy muscles in the whole time. Abs are tense the whole time, don't let them relax. Now I'm going to do the full thing. Inhale, lengthen, exhale in, inhale in, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling one more time, inhaling, exhaling. Good. Feet on the mat. We're going to do some simple crunches. So we're going to take an inhale, exhale, belly in, lift your head and shoulders, hover the hands, look towards your thighs, make sure you've got space between your chin and chest, and come back down. We're going for 7 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, and down. Try and get the shoulders off the mat, rest the hands down in between. Exhaling to lift, and down, and lift, and down. Let's go for 4 more. Exhale, lift, pull the tummy muscles in, trying to get the shoulders off the mat, and 3, and 2, pulling that belly in, last 1, lift, we're going to hold here for 5, relax your shoulders, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. And then we're going to come up to seated. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that gave you a good idea of muscles to strengthen and stretch. As I say, we're all unique, but those are the general muscles that I would try and work on if you have a PT. Have a beautiful day. Stay well. I hope you are well and happy wherever you are in the world. Please subscribe. Helps me to keep the channel going. I have lots of new videos coming up soon. Take care.